Module 7, Monitoring, Evaluation and Continuous Improvement. Welcome to Module 7 of the Bertie Program Management Series. In this session, we'll shift gear from setup and delivery into something more strategic, using Bertie's monitoring and evaluation tools backed by AI to really understand what's happening across our ventures, our cohorts, and our programs over time. By the end, you'll know how to turn raw activity data into clear insights, spot where support is needed during a cohort, and use evidence to shape stronger programs year after year. A feedback loop for your program. So far, you've seen how to design a program, set it up, onboard cohorts, use the co-pilot day to day, and build a knowledge hub. Now we connect the dots. Every task completed, milestone hit, comment left, and resource opened becomes part of a data trail. Bertie turns that data trail into venture-level insights, cohort-level analysis, and program-level learnings across multiple intakes. This is the backbone of continuous improvement. Step 1. Tracking venture progress at the individual level. We'll start with a single venture. Open the venture development board and you'll see a structured view of how that venture is doing across the different pillars. You'll see the tasks completed and tasks overdue, the milestone status, notes and updates from founders, mentors, advisors, coaches, venture partners, whoever's involved with that venture. As a program manager, this helps you quickly spot those ventures that are flying it and ready for stretch goals, or those ventures that are drifting and need extra support or focus. You can also bring in the co-pilot and ask, for example, summarize this venture's progress and recommend priorities for the next 4 weeks. This gives you a narrative snapshot you can act on without having to click through every single task. Step 2, tracking cohort progress at the group level. So next, step back and look at the cohort as a group. From the cohort dashboard, you can see things like how progress is distributed across ventures, completion rates by pillar or by stage, the engagement signals such as login frequency and task activity. This helps you spot patterns such as several ventures are stuck at the same task or at a particular stage, or one pillar consistently is weaker across the cohort, or there's a noticeable dip in engagement at a particular point in the program. Again, the co-pilot can help. You might ask it, provide a cohort progress summary with strengths, risks, and suggestions for mid-program adjustments. This is particularly useful in longer programs or multi-stage journeys where it's easy to lose sight of the big picture. Step 3, analyzing completion rates, engagement, and ultimately, the outcomes. Beyond the dashboards, Bertie provides key metrics to help you evaluate performance. Typical metrics include task completion rates by stage or by pillar, milestone achievement rates, for example, how many ventures reached problem solution fit by the end of the calibrate, engagement indicators, logins, submissions, resource usage, or indeed outcome indicators, POC approvals, number of pilots launched, funding secured, or spin-out decisions. You can filter these metrics by cohort, by program, or by intake. These numbers aren't just for accountability, they're signals that guide your decisions. Step 4, using insights for real-time interventions. Monitoring only has value if it leads to action. If you notice a drop-off in completion of customer discovery tasks, you might schedule a next clinic or a Q&A session, or you might add or highlight a new resource in the Knowledge Hub, or you may ask mentors to focus their next check-ins on that particular area. If multiple ventures are struggling with, say, finance-related tasks, you might bring in a finance mentor or run a clinic on modeling, or you might introduce a simpler template or adjust the stage timing or prerequisites. You can, of course, as always, use the co-pilot to target your response. You may ask co-pilot something like, which ventures are at risk of missing key milestones this month? Or draft a message to founders offering help on financial modeling tasks. This mix of insight plus quick action keeps your program responsive and supportive rather than reactive. Step 5, evaluating program design after a cohort ends. Once a cohort completes, Bertie helps you to step back, look at the whole journey with a cooler head. You'll see end-of-cohort summaries. You'll see comparisons with previous intakes and outcome patterns and longer-term trends. This is where the real continuous improvement work begins. For example, tasks with persistently low completion rate might need retiming, simplification, or a better explanation, or something like stages that rarely deliver the outcomes you expect may need to be restructured or recalibrated. Certain pillars may need stronger support materials or different sequencing. You can ask the co-pilot to help you interpret this by something like, using the data from this current cohort, suggest improvements to our calibrate stage for next year. The aim is to base changes on evidence, not just gut feel. Step 6, continuous improvement across cohorts and programs. Successful program managers treat their programs as living systems, not fixed products. Over time, you'll use Bertie to capture lessons learned after each cohort, to update stages, tasks, and milestones in response to what the data is telling you, to strengthen your Knowledge Hub resources where gaps or repeated questions appear, or to refine evaluation criteria so they align with how your organization defines success. As data builds up across cohort and programs, you'll start to see clearly what consistently works, what consistently causes friction, where small changes or tweaks delivered outsized impact. The result is higher success rate for founders, stronger outcomes for sponsors, partners, and funders, and a more predictable, repeatable program model for your organization. To summarize, in this module, you've seen how to monitor progress at the venture level, to interpret cohort-level dashboards and metrics, to evaluate program effectiveness over multiple intakes, to use the Copilot, metrics, and dashboards to turn insights into targeted interventions and improvements, to feed those learnings back into your program design so each cohort runs a little better than the previous one. With these tools in place, Bertie becomes more than a delivery platform. It becomes a continuous improvement engine for your programs. That brings us to the end of the core program management series. But in practice, this is where your optimization journey in Bertie really starts.